I actually shouldn't be standing up on stage here today because school was crap for me. I was rubbish as a student. I was always in detention, I mean serious detention. In fact, we had the school reunion about 10 years ago, and my best friend, who was there 10 years before me, and I didn't know her at school, dragged me there. And the old headmistress, who must have been at least 105, there are people older than me, came up to me, or rather, I was summoned to her, and she went, "Asha, your delinquency paid off." So, and actually that was the first time I felt proud about the fact that I was just so useless. But, you know, it was awful, seriously. I mean, I was bad enough here at school, like I would write ransom notes for my homework. I thought it would work at the time, I was young. You know those old stencils with the letters so that they wouldn't notice my handwriting? I'd actually trace them out and then put it in the locker going, "Teacher, why don't people like me? Look, they've taken my history homework book and I worked so hard on the project." And then the teacher would be quiet. Actually, she was one of my favorite teachers, and you know, my mum would turn up at lunchtime going, "This is empty history book." Detention for a month. And then I went to school in England where I was considered very stupid. In fact, they had the guidance counselors at school and stuff, and I was sort of talked to many times and told that I should go to secretarial school and learn how to type. And I would be very good at that because I was quite social, and I'd be great at helping people, fixing coffee and all that kind of stuff. So I did. You know, I believed them because everyone kept telling me I was shit all the time. I was rubbish, I was crap. I loved classics. I was great at Greek classics. I loved English, but everything else was rubbish. And so I believed them. You know, my dad was like, "I'm not, paying for you to go to, college, secretarial college." I'm like, "Come on, dude, I can't do any other university. I'm going to be a dropout. I've got to have some qualifications." So my dad begrudgingly loaned me the money. And I went, and it was actually, I chose one in Oxford. So I thought, I'll go to Oxford. I can say I went to Oxford. But really I was learning to do shorthand in a room full of chicks who wore skirts and blouses and stuff, and yeah. So I did. I did that for a couple of months, and I was like, "Oh my God, is this more my life?" All my life I thought, there's got to be something more. I can feel it's exciting. You know that moment when you kind of, it's like the winds of change are coming in, and you feel like you're on the verge of greatness and something massive is going to happen. It doesn't, the thunderstorm passes, but you know it's there. The possibility are endless, and they're there, right? So you keep on believing, and you're believing. Anyway, so I was, about the time I was sharing a room with this woman, and I feel really awful. I can't remember her name, Amanda, Nicola, something like that. She used to have this, she was very strange. She came from a farm, and there was lots of, she was in love with horses, and all she ever ate were chips. Now, she would go down to the supermarket at the end of our road and buy whole potatoes. And she had this chip cutter thing, do you know what I mean? You peel it and you put it in, and then she had this deep fat fry, and this was in our bedroom, okay? And she would religiously, for breakfast, and when we came home from classes of learning how to, take dictation and how fast we were and stuff, fry her chips and sit there and daintily dip them in tomato ketchup and eat them. And it was scary because she wasn't reading. She never watched TV at the same time. Back in those days, we didn't have TVs in all the rooms. In fact, back in those days, I don't think computers were invented yet. So yeah, those things were very scary. So one day I couldn't handle it any longer, and I went out, and I was just like, "Oh my God, I need a call box. I need a phone. I've got to call my mom. I've got to go back to Malaysia. I can't handle this. This is just crap." And it was snowing. It was winter time, and out of nowhere, I'm standing on the side of the road, and this guy comes past me on a bicycle. He's about my color, so he stood out from the snow. And the reason I noticed him standing out from the snow was he was completely butt naked, cycling. And he kind of whooshed up to the stop there where I was just about to walk, and something happened. I guess he skidded because an oncoming car kind of, because you know in Oxford you can get arrested for drunk driving on a bicycle. Do you know that? So he skidded, and the thing plopped over, and there was this guy naked in the snow, and I was just like, "Oh my God, it's so much of a sign. I've got to go back to Malaysia. Nothing in Malaysia is as bad as this." So that I kind of did that, and I was like, I did a few other really crummy, stupid things. No, but before coming back to Malaysia, I kind of had a conversation with my father who was in Malaysia, and he was like, you've got to study. You've got to have something. You've got to have a piece of paper. Piece of paper is really important, because of course that's old school. That's, you drum it in, you are nothing without that documentation certified by other people who have never met you to prove that you are worth something. And I hate that. I really hate that. So I decided, okay, I can get a grant and I will take a loan and I will pay back. And I worked 4 jobs when I went to Kingston Poly and I studied quantity surveying. Because suddenly I went from secretary to, I'm going to build houses and apartments. I can do this. So it was like the only course that accepted me with my really bad grades. But anyway, that goes to say a lot, right? Quantity surveyors have those kind of grades. Anyway, that was another experience altogether. But I went through university and it was just really horrific because I didn't fit, and then I wanted to do architecture and they wouldn't let me because they said I'm not artistic enough, and then the fine arts course wouldn't let me go on that, so I thought, screw this. I got really drunk at the SU bar and went, that's it, I definitely am going home now. And I did. And I guess the reason I'm telling you the story is not that it's inspiration in any way. And there was a lot of concentric circles and the naked man, who I still vividly remember, what it was like, and that, that was the measuring barometer of all things to come. I've been disappointed many times since. About missing the snow, people. But I guess I just want to say that, life is never a straight line. And does anyone here, who believes in fate or destiny as like pre-one? Few. You're all over there. You're old. You have to, because you want to know there's a God to forgive you. You're closer to the end of the line, my friends. Just like I am. But I guess with that, all I want to say is it's kind of like everything goes around in circles, and sometimes you go really far down the line only to kind of get swished back. It's like snakes and ladders life. And for every choice, Thabit said this, and I completely agree with it. It's like there are so many choices out there. You have to make a choice, and with each choice you're moving forward. Even sometimes you feel like you're going 10 paces back, like the secretarial school. I never would have seen the naked man, so I'm going to bring it up again. And I never would be here today as the dropout who could never do anything, who was never going to amount to anything. In fact, I was told to find a nice husband, marry him, and settle down. I'm a single mom, I have an amazing kid, and it's all because I refused to follow the rules. So, thank you.